Okay, so we are recording. My name is Megan Phillips, for those of you who don't know me, and I have been in direct sales since August of 2018. I sell Color Street nail polish strips. And then earlier in 2020, I started to do my own blog. And on top of that, I run both of those things in my business on social media. And then recently, I have tried to help other entrepreneurs with their needs as a businesswoman. So anything and everything that they need help with, virtual assisting. So social media content. I love helping people create social media content that is focused around their brand and is engaging and not boring. And, I also help others with their email marketing, creating their email list in MailChimp and sending out email campaigns, really just being themselves and posting posts that are going to cater to your ideal clients and not just about your product. So that's just a little bit about me. And then I'm going to quickly go over what we're going to talk about. So the format of this is we're going to talk about certain things and we can all chime in as necessary. And when you have something to contribute, and then I wanted to save the second half hour portion for you to actually plan out content. Or if you already have things planned in your head, you can use that time to actually get them scheduled to post. So, and if you don't know how to schedule, and if that's something that's like foreign to you, I'm going to go over that as well. So we're going to go over what scheduling is, how you schedule posts in case you don't know how to do that. Does anyone in here not know how to use Facebook Scheduler, like within a Facebook group and a business page? And it's totally okay if you don't.
I've never done it, but I see where you can schedule it. But I
Okay,
haven't
Sue.
used it. I probably
Okay.
should.
Sue, do you know how to schedule posts? Okay, great. So I was thinking if we had someone who didn't know how to do it, that I would share my screen and show you. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go over what to post and talk a lot about that. And then I also want to talk about Facebook specific preferences, that Facebook prioritizes certain posts over others, and then what not to do on Facebook, because there are certain trigger words that Facebook does not like and will not prioritize the post for your audience to see, or will flag it as a sales post because they really don't want you selling on Facebook, even though that is what we're doing. Facebook wants you to be social on Facebook. They don't want you to sell. So there are some ways around it, but we're going to talk about that as well. So first I want to talk about, I want to show you how to do the scheduling, and then we'll talk about why that's important. So I actually, full disclosure, have never done a meeting where I've shared my screen. So I hope this works. If
I know
it
how if you
doesn't,
don't.
okay, well, I might need your help. So I'm going to hit share screen. Okay, perfect. Actually have Facebook up in a different thing, and it's one of your posts, Mom. So, okay, let me see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Facebook group. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go to my group. This is how you would schedule inside of a Facebook group. And then I'll also go over a business page as well. So you just want to share, you want to type out what you want to share. So this obviously is not, I'm not actually going to do it. So you type whatever you want, you add your graphic or your picture or whatever the media is to go along with your post. And then you're going to hit the calendar on the bottom. And this is going to pop up an option of the date and time that you want it to post. So you just click on the box, it's going to pull up a calendar, and then you choose, okay, I want this to post tomorrow at whatever time. And then you choose the time. I would recommend, if you have never done scheduling posts before, that you should go inside of your group and check out the analytics. And if you don't know how to do this, I can help you do this as well, but maybe we'll do it as like a one-on-one thing because it'll take a lot of time. But you can check to see what times the people in your group are active on Facebook. And then you want to schedule your posts around those times because that's when you're going to get the most engagement. So Sue, when I pulled this up, is this making sense to you here? Do you want me to go into more details on how you would do this? Once I have it ready, I would just hit schedule.
Yeah, I was trying to get on my Facebook on my tablet so I could go through it while you were doing it.
Okay, do you want me to go back out and do it again?
Hang
It's not a
on.
problem.
I'm trying to get to so I can see if I can walk myself through it. I'm sorry.
Don't be
It's
sorry.
okay.
It's
Don't
fine.
be
That's why
sorry.
we're doing this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't know what you went into when you first did it.
Okay, so I'm going to go all the way back out. All I
Okay.
did is I clicked on the top where you would normally post a schedule or post a post. So I clicked on it where it says that what's on your mind. Click there, and then you're going to draft your post, and you're going to add any media that you want, whether it's a video or a picture, or graphic, or whatever. And then you're going to hit the calendar next to the blue button on the bottom. Instead of hitting post, you don't want to do that because that'll post it right now. So you're going to hit the calendar. And if you hover over the calendar, it'll say schedule post. Do you see that?
It's not on my iPad. Oh, wait. No.
It's probably different. Let me look on my iPhone.
Okay.
That brings me to the next question.
Well,
So
on my
only do it on desktop or on computer, or can you do it mobile?
You can do it on mobile or desktop. Now, I don't have an iPhone, so you iPhone people, let me know because it used to not be a
wait.
feature on iPhones to
Yes.
schedule post.
It says schedule like on your iPhone, like right underneath, like where
Yes. Okay.
it says members of
And
purpose.
is that group
I see it.
personal?
Yeah. It says schedule and then it has a time and a date right there.
Yes.
I see what you're talking about. Okay.
Okay,
I
so yeah,
gotcha.
so if you're on a tablet or a mobile device, it looks a little different, but it does say schedule and it has that clock. So do you
Okay.
see it?
I do.
Okay, perfect. So once you hit that schedule clock button, it should pop up something on the bottom, and then there'll be like a little toggle button that you have to click to schedule the post, and then it lets you choose the date and time.
Oh, nice. Okay. Very cool.
Okay.
So for us, like when we have our feature of the week and we find out on Sunday, so you could go ahead and get your post ready on Sunday night, so you don't have to worry about it Monday morning, and set it for like noon on Monday or 8 a.m. like whatever time you want, and then it's already done.
Yeah, you can set it for like, it is helpful for launches in the direct sales world, because if you know the exact time that it's going to launch, you can schedule the post to post in your group at the time of the launch when it's live on your website.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you how you would do that on a business page, because I know, Ashley, that's where you post. And it looks totally different. Do you need help
Yeah,
doing that, or do you already know how to do that?
Can you do it on mobile from either personal or group or business page? Any of
Okay.
those.
So yes and no. You cannot schedule a post on a business page from your mobile phone.
Okay.
But you can schedule a post on your mobile in a group.
Okay.
So
Didn't
if
you say Buffer app was a thing to use?
Yes, that is. So Buffer is a free scheduling software, and it's just buffer.com. You can look it up. It also has a free app, and that is really great because Buffer, you can draft your post once, and then you can say, okay, I want this post to post on my business page, my Facebook group, and my Instagram. And you can choose the time so that you don't want it to all post at the same time, and you can arrange it however you want, time and date wise, but then you only had to draft it once. So it's a huge time saver for sure. There are other scheduling softwares out there, but Buffer is completely free, and it's very user friendly. I really like that one. I used a different one at one point before that, and now I can't even remember what that one was called. So sorry. Okay, so do you know how to do the scheduling within your group or your page? Sorry, Ashley. Or do you want me to show you? Because I think, are you the only one that would schedule on a page, or Alex, would you schedule on a page?
So I recently, like in the last couple of weeks, Googled it, and Facebook recently released an app called Business Suite that lets you schedule on a page, like on a Facebook page.
Oh, okay, that's super
And like,
helpful.
I
See,
mean,
didn't know that.
it's been like within the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's called Business Suite. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, it's called Business Suite, and it's by Facebook. And the
Okay.
setup is very similar to scheduling posts on the Facebook app. So
Okay,
I have
awesome.
an iPhone and it works for me. I'm not 100% sure if it works on other phones, but
Mhm.
like I said, I know I've always been told that you can't schedule it, but I had found a way to do it on my laptop, and I just found out about this Facebook app that that does
Gotcha.
that.
That's super
So
helpful.
Alex,
So,
is that free?
Yeah, it's free.
Okay, because when I've been, my sister has shown me how to schedule, and when I've been doing it, I've actually seen the business suite pop up, and I had no idea what it was, so I
Okay.
didn't even look into it.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
free. I know it has a bunch of other like kind of the stuff that the Facebook group has, like it has tracking and everything in it. I haven't gotten too much into it other than scheduling posts on it so far. But like I said, I just recently found out about it, but it's supposed to be released by Facebook and it's supposed to help businesses with their pages, and all I used is the scheduling part of it. So
That's super helpful. Thank you for sharing that. I have not used that yet. So that's awesome. So Ashley, if you download that, you should be able to schedule your business page posts. So that's great. Perfect. Okay. So scheduling is important because it will help you be able to be consistent, and if things come up organically, you can still add to it. Like, it doesn't mean that it's set in stone and you can never change it or add anything, but it's super great because then if life gets in the way, because it does all the time, you don't have to think every single day, crap, what am I going to post today? I forgot to post. You know, you can just carry on with normal everyday life, work, kids, whatever, and know that you're still going to have those posts scheduled, and you can just spend your time interacting in your posts instead of figuring out what to post. And it's also, oh, what was I gonna say? It's also helpful, or I do about 1 to 2 weeks at a time out in my private group, sometimes less because sometimes I don't do it. But when I do it, I try to do 1 to 2 weeks at a time. That way I can spend all of my time when I'm working on my business to go live. And, you know, if I get a random email, because I get, you know, direct sales emails too, I'll find out about them, the big, like a launch 24 to 48 hours ahead of time, which isn't a bunch of time. So if I already have everything else planned out, then I can just focus on adjusting my posts, you know, and fitting that in based on when the launch is going to happen. So it just helps you save time and be consistent and show up consistently, because there's so many people on Facebook in general and social media in general too, but there's also so many people running a business on social media. So we have to like figure out a way to stand out and be different. So this is just one way to make it easier. So now we're going to talk about what to post. First of all, first and foremost, everybody should always do this. No matter what you sell or what company you're with, you should brand yourself. You are selling yourself, not your company. Because what happens if in a year from now you decide to switch to a different company? You don't want all of your customers to leave you and go to somebody else selling Usborne Books or Posh. You want them to stay with you because they're loyal to you and they will buy whatever you're selling because they like you. So that's the number one with when it comes to network marketing, marketing on social media, running a business on social media. That's so important, because if you are not branding yourself, they're just going to leave when you do something else. They're not going to stay with you, and you want to get those loyal friends, not just customers. What, Mom?
Right. So for instance, you know, I have perfectly pampering by Becky. Okay. Well, you know, maybe I should change it to something that doesn't even have anything to do with pampering in the name, because what if I
Right.
decided to do something, right, you know, like whatever else. So Megan's is organized chaos and coffee, which I think is adorable.
Well, thank you.
Right.
Yes, and I've rebranded myself, my company, my everything earlier this year in April, because I think it was called Be Beautiful Nails, YOU, like BU, but you know, I was selling nails. So the reason why I rebranded was because I started blogging, and I wanted to turn my VIP group more into a community of people that I'm going to post like-minded women, but also I'm going to post about anything and everything that I do, but I am targeting my ideal client and customer. And my ideal client is a busy mom, because pampering or self-care, nails, I'm helping women by giving them a at-home mani that is affordable, and they can immediately get back to momming and not mess up their nails, and it's not going to break the bank. That is a pain point that I am solving for them. Well, that doesn't change when I rebranded. I'm blogging about being a mom, so it still goes towards my target audience, but I rebranded because I didn't want people to think that I'm only going to be talking about nails in here,
Right.
But anything and everything that I do is still going to be targeted around my people and who I'm trying to attract. And I'm trying to attract busy moms. So does that make sense?
I love that idea, marketing yourself versus marketing Posh, because
Right.
sometimes when you get people know you, they're going to support what you're doing, and through you, they
Regardless.
know the product. I love that. I love that.
And, it's helpful too, because to be honest, I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups. Probably, I think I went and removed myself from some like several months ago, because I was in like, I'm not joking, probably 100 groups. And
Yes.
I couldn't keep up. It was ridiculous. And so if I'm going to be invested in a group, I want them to bring me value and not just sell something all the time. So, you
100%.
guys, you and Mom, you're selling pampering things. So that's one of the things that we're going to talk about is you need to post, I said pain points, pain points and interests of your ideal client or person you're attracting. So you guys are attracting people who you want to use self-care items. So you could be sharing value, like, helpful tips to prioritize your self-care, or self-care for busy moms. And you do live videos all the time, Mom. I don't know if you do, Sue, because I don't think I'm in your group, but if you do, talk about not only Posh products but other things too, like taking a hot bubble bath with your wine, like posting a picture of you doing that, but not mentioning Posh at all, because you don't want to shove Posh down people's throat, but you want to help them. You want to help people see that, oh man, she's a real person. She's had a busy day too, and she's just enjoying a nice hot bath with a glass of wine. That sounds really nice, whatever. So does that make sense? I'm
I'd be
getting
like,
a little,
keep the Posh bath fizzy in the tub.
right, which you could do that, but I would almost not do that, because
I know.
you want to showcase your
I
product.
wouldn't say that. I was just trying to be funny.
Oh, I know. I just don't want to confuse anyone. So like, for example, I'm going to get back to more things that you can post. So, okay. One thing you want to remember, that you should use an 80-20 rule. And what that means is 80% of the posts that you post need to be not sales at all. 20% of the posts that you post should be sales. So 80% should be value posts, interactive posts, posts that are going to be attracting those ideal clients, but not in a salesy way. And then the 20% sales posts are going to be posts like when you have a launch and you're pushing a product, or if you want to showcase a product, or whatever. But that doesn't mean that the 80% can't ever talk about a product. It just means you should not be selling the product. So for example, if I want to post like a selfie of myself, and I'm holding like my coffee mug, which I do all the time, I might be like, happy selfie Sunday. I cleaned the house and blah, blah, blah today. What did you do? I'd not mention Color Street, but my hand with my Color Street is shown. So that's a way that like you can get people used to seeing you and your products without talking about it, without shoving it in their face, because I don't want anyone to ever be like, oh, this girl's always posting about Color Street, so annoying, because there are a bunch of people selling online. So you don't want to, you have to figure out a way to stand out above, and be different than everyone else.
Like a face mask and hair curlers. I've been cleaning the house and I look like such a desperate housewife.
Mom, that would be perfect, because what you could do is you could take a picture of yourself looking like a hot mess, which is going to be a scroll stopper. That's going to, if you post a
Right.
picture with your hair and rollers, that's going to catch people's attention. So that's great. And then
In
you
our
could,
new blue face mask.
yes, and then even better, you can make it interactive by saying, what's your outfit of choice when you clean the house? You know, because then,
Right,
so
that's a
then
great
you've
idea.
taken the post and not just made it about what you're doing, but then you're turning it around and you're asking a question to your audience, which people love to give their opinions.
True
And
story.
it's a scroll stopping image. Like, I legit would crack up if I
Right.
saw a picture of anyone with their hair and rollers and like a bathrobe with a mop or something. Like,
Yeah,
it
I've got to
would
go to
be
Dollar
great.
Tree and get some now.
You
Rollers,
know, or you could even just wrap your head in a towel,
yeah.
like you just got out of the shower, you know, something like that. But so does that make sense? Is that a good
Yeah.
thought to turn that into an interactive post? So okay, so we talked about 80-20 rule. We talked about branding yourself, interests and pain points of your ideal client or customer. I've talked about that. Do you need me to elaborate on that, or do we feel like we understand what that means?
Did you want to show your screen to show in the group? I know where it is, but like where you go to the star and it shows what times are like best for your group, in case someone doesn't know.
Do you guys know how to find that? Yes, Alex does. Sue, do you know how to find that? Let me see if I can share my screen again.
Sorry, I muted myself.
That's totally
yes.
okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
You do know how to do it already? Okay.
Yes.
Just want to make sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I will just not spend time doing that if we know. So, okay. Okay. So I do want to talk about things that Facebook likes and things that Facebook does not like. So Facebook really likes for you to use their features that they have that are there. So for example, when you're typing your post and you click add to post and more options come up, like go live, background colors,
Yep.
any of those. So those are all Facebook features. So they really like when you use their own features. They don't like when you try to take them off of their platform. So like if I want to post just an interactive question, I can hit background colors and use the background colors. Facebook really loves those types of posts. Those are prioritized. So do that often. Do you know what that means, Sue?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
And I would take it a step further and I would choose a color that is close to your branding colors. And so if you don't know what that means, we can talk more about that another time, because I don't want us to be on here forever. But so like I have 3 colors that I usually rotate out in between, doing like a navy, a like pale, almost like a robin's egg blue, and a pale pink, because those are my 3 branding colors that are in my logo. And I use them all the time because I want people to associate me with those colors. So, but there also are really fun when you click on the colors, like if you create your own avatar thing, there's a couple of options for those. So those are fun, even though it doesn't technically go with your branding colors. I think those are okay because they are fun and silly, and those are going to pull people in as well. And I would also say the holiday themed ones are great to use too during the specific holiday. So even though that's not on your branding colors, that's okay. Don't worry about that. But if your branding colors like are mine, then I'm the pale pink and navy and dark navy and the pale robin's egg blue, I'm not going to be posting red all the time, because that doesn't go along with my colors at all. And I don't want people to be confused when they're on my page. I want it to all be fluid. So Facebook really likes using those features, going live, using the colors. Another thing that Facebook likes is for you to use pictures of yourself or videos of yourself instead of doing a graphic. So for example, I know that I'm in a bunch of Color Street groups. I'm sure that you guys are probably in a bunch of groups for your direct sale company where people share graphics all the time for you to use, which is great. It's super helpful. However, I would caution you to use them all the time, because those types of posts are not going to pull people in because one, they've probably seen them a ton. And if there's a bunch of text on it, it's going to be too much to read and people aren't they're going to scroll right past it. And they're just not prioritized in Facebook world. So if and when possible, if you could use a picture of yourself instead of a graphic, I would do that every single time that you can. Obviously, you can't always do that. If you're promoting a product that's launched, the first time you post about it, use the information that your company gave you with the details and post about it. But if you want to remind somebody, like for example, I did a flash sale in my group over the weekend. And so the first time I posted about it, I did a graphic. And then the second, but in the graphic, I used a picture of me because I want people to see me, because you are trying, again, you're branding yourself. You want people to see you, not just your products. And people relate to seeing, you know, faces more. And it's going to set you apart from a lot of other direct sale people who are not using photos of themselves in their posts. So I made a graphic, included myself in it, and put the info of the sale in the graphic and posted about it with a little bit of a description. But then the second time that I posted about a reminder of the flash sale, it was a picture of me and like, I don't even remember what I said, but a little bit of details, but it was a picture of me. So it wasn't the same graphic. And I didn't just post about it one time and expect all 350 people in my group to see that post, because that doesn't happen, by the way. So you need to post about something, go post about it, go live, send an email about it, do all of these things. And even then, you're probably only going to get about 25% maybe of the people in your group to actually see and know that you have something going on. So don't ever think, oh, well, I posted about it on my personal page, I don't want to post it in my group too. Post it everywhere. If you want to switch up the wording a little bit, that's fine, but the same person's not going to see that post every single time. You have to be visible on all of your platforms if you want people to see your stuff.
That's
okay.
Really good advice.
Thank you. So I kind of forget where I was going with that. I was talking about Facebook do's and don'ts. Okay, so I talked about what Facebook likes. What Facebook does not like is for you to send them off of their platform. So links are huge. Facebook does not like for you to put your website link in the post. They hate it. They will not prioritize that post. So if and when you want to drive people to a website or a link, even if it's a YouTube link, put it in the comments if you can. Now, this is a little bit hard when you're pre-scheduling out, because if you've scheduled content that is around a promo or a launch and you want to send them to a website, you kind of want to put it in the text, because if not, and by the text, I mean the body of the post, because if not, then you're going to need to remember what time it was posting so that you can go in and type it in the comments. So that's my suggestion for that. When you have to post it in the body of the text of the post, would be to type in your post without the link, add in a media graphic or a picture, and then put the link in, because what that's going to do is that's not going to do that pop-up link thing that Facebook automatically creates. So it's kind of like tricking it into making it think that you're not posting a link, even though you are. But if you can, post it in the comments. But if you need to post it in the body of the text, don't let it bring up that pop-up website thing. And if it does accidentally, close it out. You can X out that pop-up website thing before you actually schedule the post or post it. Yeah. Okay, so Facebook doesn't like you taking off of their website or their platform. They also prefer video and photos over graphics. I think I already said that, but can't say that enough. And then interactive posts. And they actually just added this feature of questions, which I have found really helpful. It will automatically flag your post as a question, and then when people comment on it, it'll say 17 answers or however many answers. I would leave that there. I wouldn't X that like formatted as a question part out of your post, because again, it's something Facebook has added as a feature, so they like it. So I have had really good interactive posts with every one that I've done that has been formatted as a question. So I would use that to your advantage. Another don't is there's trigger words with Facebook. Buy, sale, free, cart, all of those things, promo, those are trigger words. Facebook doesn't like those because it knows that you're selling on Facebook. So you kind of have to, there's a little bit of ways around it, but you kind of have to, like if I want to say buy, because I have a Color Street has a buy 3 get 1 free deal all the time. So I will do, hi Nick. So I will do all caps, B period, U period, Y period. So obviously you can see that the word is buy, but I've broken it up with periods or put dashes in there so that Facebook doesn't think that you're actually typing the word buy. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm going like way longer than I thought this would. So is everyone
dollar signs either?
Dollar signs either. Thank you. I forgot about that one. Dollar signs is a good one. So there's actually an emoji dollar sign that you can use. And so when I want to put in a dollar sign, because I want to say what the sale amount is, I will use the emoji dollar sign and then put the numbers next to it. And that's a way to trick Facebook too. Another way too is if you just have a bunch of things you want to say, I would put it in the graphic and post a graphic about it instead of all of the details in the body of the post. Are you guys okay if we go a little bit longer? Because I still want to share about daily themes before we take some time to discuss and then do our own like breakouts. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay. So something that has helped me, and this was not my idea, but I mean, I learned it and run with it, but it was actually from Chrissy Connor. I don't know if any of you know her, but she's amazing. And she has always preached like figure out daily themes for yourself, for you to post and use them so that you know what you're going to post. It's going to make your planning of your content so much easier because you're going to know, oh, it's Monday. I always post this on Monday. So I'm going to give you my examples, and then obviously yours won't be the same because your ideal client might be different, your industry might be different, but this is what I tend to do. So I would pick about 2 different topics that could be for each day's theme, because that way you have some variety to choose from. So like Mondays, I do Manny Monday or a Motivation Monday. So a Manny Monday example would be a picture of my nails and my face, because I want to show my face as much as possible, and say like, oh, I'm on day 7 of this Manny. And then I'd end it with a question. What day are you on? That way people will respond. So that would be a Manny Monday example. Another one would be, oh, time for a new Manny. Which one should I pick? With the picture of 2 different types of sets for people to give me their opinions, because they love doing that, of which one I should choose to put on my next Manny. Or it could even be of nothing on my nails and saying like, oh, no Color Street on today. I feel so naked, something silly. But all of those are totally different, and they're all like in that category of Manny Monday. Motivation Monday could be, some sort of quote or something that relates to my audience, or it could even be, because my ideal audience is busy moms, and I always talk about lots of things that I'm interested in. Like coffee is one of those things that I talk about all the time. So Monday motivation could be like, it could even just be something funny about how coffee's always there for you, and ask, end it with a question like, what's your favorite coffee flavor? Or do you like coffee hot or cold? Or
light or darker?
Light or darker? How many cups a day do you drink? It's literally endless. But ending your post with an engaging question is a really great way to get engagement, because I think that I see a lot of times and hear a lot of people saying that they don't get good engagement. And I mean, I have definitely have some posts that I think are going to do great and they don't, and some that I don't expect to do great and they do. But if you're complaining about engagement and you're not posting engagement posts, that's part of your problem. If you post a picture of something, like it could be a product, you know, whatever. Like this is a prize for you, Mom, by the way, I have to send to you. If I posted just this picture and, you know, didn't say really anything about it, it's Bouncy Blush. And I just said, oh, look at this blush. It's so cool. I got it from Ulta. Cool. What am I supposed to say to that? Nothing, because there's nothing to say. But instead, if I said something like, oh my gosh, this blush is so cute. I'm so excited to give this prize away, because I'm talking about how I'm giving back to my people, which is great. It's called Bouncy Blush. What's your favorite shade of blush? I turn it into an engagement question. So it's going to get engagement. But if I don't ask anything, it's not going to get engagement, because people don't know what to say to that. They're just going to scroll right past it. Okay, so that's a Monday example. A Tuesday example is Tip Tuesday. So I try to give tips, not only about nail health, but maybe it's a mom tip, or, you know, a organization tip or hack, because I talk about that stuff too. Anything and everything that's going to relate to me, because I'm a busy mom or busy moms, you know. So and again, turning it into engagement and interactive is always helpful, but that's one of my themes.
You can also do talk about it Tuesday or talk about it Thursday.
Sure, yeah, there's lots of things. So like Wednesday, would you rather, I like to do those would you rather questions, and again, make the question directed towards your ideal audience. Thankful Thursday, or this or that Thursday, and this or that could be a picture of like an outfit with nails and pick which one goes with the outfit, or it could be a this or that like question about coffee, hot or cold, you know, anything and everything. It could be random, and usually the random ones that have nothing to do with your product are the ones that do the best. So
Right.
Those are the ones people love to give opinions on, that have nothing to do with what you're selling, but that's okay, because they're getting to know you, you're getting to know them, you're building relationships with them, and that's all going to help you get not only customers, but friends that will follow you no matter what you're doing.
Mom, sorry to interrupt.
Go
Mom,
ahead,
what
you're good.
that you guys said other than would you rather Wednesday? What was the other one?
I don't think we said another one for
I
Wednesday.
said
She said talk about it
Tuesday or
Tuesday.
Thursday.
You could
Oh.
do what you're wearing Wednesday, which would be really good for photography, because you could talk
Yeah.
about how different types of outfits look good in different
Walk
kinds
it
of
out
pictures.
Wednesday. Work it out. Hey, Leila.
Taco Tuesday is a good one too, and you could include like, what are you making for dinner? You know, people
Not your
love
business.
simple dinner recipes. You're silly. Feature Friday is one that I do on Fridays if I do want to feature a product, but again, I usually don't push selling it. I'm just talking about it. But it, you know, again, 80-20 rule. If I haven't talked about selling in a while, then maybe I'll say, you know, show a product and say what I love about it, and say, oh, by the way, I have this in my inventory. Let me know if you want it, you know, whatever. But again, it's not the focus of the post.
Do you have a specific timeline that you would like to wait, or a specific amount of posts that you like to wait before
Right.
doing
Sorry.
sales?
No, no, but it should just be, if you, for example, if you post 10 posts, 8 of them should not be salesy, and 2 of the 10 should or can be. That's the rule of thumb.
Right, but in like, so for example, you post a lot. So someone that doesn't post as often as you has to do their sales ones more few and far between.
Well,
If you did
doesn't.
5 posts, you could do, you know, one of them salesy and the other 4 not. You don't have to do 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It doesn't matter the time frame. It's like if I do 10 posts over 4 days, I still only want 20% of those posts to be sales related. If you do 10 posts over 10 days, you still only want 2 of those posts, or 2 days, if you're only posting once a day, to be salesy. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Mm.
So in addition to themes that are going to get engagement, I also have shuffled in what like posts and themes that are going to go with my goals for my business. So if I am trying to get parties, then I'm going to have one of my days to be about hosting a party. So I have it on Wednesday. So Wednesday would be when I would talk about that. However, I'm not just going to say host a party with me. There's different ways you can go about this. You can post a customer testimonial, someone who has hosted a party with you and all the great things they had to say about the party. So if you're not getting those, start getting them now. Every single host you have, ask them, would you please write me a review? Have them review it on your business page if you have one. If not, just send it to a text to you and you can create a graphic with their review and a picture of them, post that in your group and talk about how awesome so-and-so's party was and how much free stuff they got and why hosting a party is so great. So that would be a way to promote parties without just saying, hey, host a party, because people aren't going to react to that. You can also do a screenshot of someone's rewards, like, a screenshot of their order, but just make sure you like black out like any of their personal information. But like if it says, host rewards, minus $50 or whatever, and it says total like $2, whatever, I would screenshot that. And then I always put in text on the graphic that says however many sets they got, like, I don't know, 10 sets for $2. That way, then I'm going to say, I can talk about how much free stuff my host got for hosting a party instead of just saying, hey, host a party with me. Another way you can talk about hosting a party is all the different ways you can have a party. Maybe someone doesn't like Facebook parties. So you can say, did you know that I do Zoom parties? Did you know that I can do mail catalog parties? Did you, all of those things, and talk about what it is, so that if you get someone that does love your products but is super over Facebook parties because they're very oversaturated, maybe they're going to be intrigued by a Zoom party because they want to get on with their friends and see their faces, and they're going to be more drawn to that versus a Facebook party. So that could be a way that you talk about hosting a party. Same with recruiting. Pick a day to talk about, every week that you're going to post or go live or something about how you are trying to build your team, but come up with a better way to do it besides, hey, join my team. Because again, people usually don't react to those well. They just usually ignore them. And so coming up with things like, hey, a direct message, those are always going to be the best way to get people, sales, hosts, recruits. I struggle with recruiting. I mean, it's so hard, but people really are usually going to scroll past a Facebook post about those things. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't post about it, because you still want to be as visible as possible. And you might have some lurkers that don't say anything, but have been, reading your posts, and eventually their no right now will be a maybe or a yes later. So still want to do it, just not in a salesy sort of way. Okay, so does that help you guys with some themes and some ideas? Ashley, do you have a question? You have a face.
No, I was honestly just trying to like hold in my yawn without opening my mouth.
Okay, perfect. So anyways, all right, so that's what I wanted to talk about. Does anyone have any questions before we take some time to, what I wanted to do was just basically have you guys, if you want, I mean, if you don't want to stay on, you don't have to, but make a goal of like, I don't know, 5 days of a post, or a week if you can, of posts to schedule out. And if you already are like ahead of the game and you already know what you're going to post and you just need to actually schedule it, then do that now as well. Does that make sense with everyone? Are we at a good place where we understand what we're doing, or you have any questions that I can support you with?
I think I'm good.
That makes sense. Can I just clarify that I didn't mean that you were boring? I'm just tired. I wasn't yawning because of you.
I didn't take it that way. It's fine. It's 9 o'clock. I know that you're tired.
Thanks
Oh.
for clarifying.
Did you guys think that? I didn't think that.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't think that.
And I didn't
We're
think it was
all
boring either.
tired moms. It's fine.
Yeah. Like
Like,
I tell Nick, we're all tired. He's always like, I'm so exhausted. I'm like, yeah.
join
we?
the club.
Yeah, and I'm
Right?
always falling asleep till I go lay down, and then I'm like, oh, wide awake.
Yes.
Squirrel.
Right. Okay, so does anyone need help with figuring out still like, oh, I have no idea when I'm going to post. Help me come up with some content ideas.
So I was
Ashley?
thinking about holding some call it even and taking a picture and
Uh-huh.
replacing the content I already, like for tomorrow, tomorrow and
Mhm.
doing that. 'Cause
So
that's
did you-
Yeah.
feature of the
Tomorrow,
week.
I just wanted to give, I don't have a question, but I wanted to say something. Becky, you always are really good at being personable. Even before I started selling Posh, when I was on your page, you're just a real personable
Well, thank
person. And
you.
I sometimes feel like I try to be personable, but I still feel like I don't know, maybe I am, and I'm just too hard on
I think
myself.
I think you are. I think you're getting better too. Like she had her little granddaughter on with her earlier. So she did a face mask and her granddaughter had on Ice Queen and she had on Stripper. And it was really super cute.
Those are names of facial masks, Alex, just in case you didn't
Also-
know.
It's not a strip on her
It was
page.
she
Wild.
had a stripper over in front of her granddaughter. Don't mind. Can I tell you guys a quick funny story? So I ordered our new mask, the stripper,
Just keep
right?
in mind this is recording, FYI. So don't share anything that
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to be
It's
shared.
nothing
Okay.
bad.
I
But
just
anyway,
you never know.
no, it was just rude, but it was just funny. So I was trying to get engagement, people interested in this new mask, and I posted that my stripper hadn't come yet. Okay. Our friend Stephanie's son saw this, but it's not bad. My post said in my group, gonna Zoom at 5 with the stripper. Thanks to my good friend Sue Cox, my stripper still hasn't made it here, so she's loaning me one of hers till mine comes.
I can see that if you didn't know the context, that sounds.
And
so
I said, wait, hold on. I said, don't miss it. We will play games for prizes also. Download Zoom so you can join us. So our
Did
friend
you get a bunch of
Stephanie-
people on Zoom? Because I feel like I would be there just to see that.
So our friend Stephanie we grew up with posted and tagged me and Sue. She said, well, her son's like a year older than Layla. He's 14. Said my son, I'm gonna cry. Said my son saw my phone flash with a notification about Facebook. He said, Mom, your phone's buzzing. It looks like 2 of your friends are strippers or stripping. And I think they're doing it on Zoom. You better get in here and get your phone. That was
so
yesterday. Oh, sorry, I'm
That's
crying.
hysterical. Me too.
Oh, he probably copied the link.
Right? If he's
Your
14,
friends are stripping on Zoom.
he's probably like, oh, they're old. That Layla says that about me and you.
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh. But that was
That's
just so
hilarious.
hysterical. I am crying. Sue was crying. It was hilarious.
that's so
So
funny.
like Zach knows Layla, so I had to write, please tell Zach, this is what I was talking about, a tube called The Stripper.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Okay.
Do you
so-
care if I share a couple of things that I have learned from you and from just
Running your
just-
business? Yes,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
And this is an open floor.
Okay. So I apologize. I'm a little awkward. But
It's only awkward because you say, I apologize. It's a little awkward.
if I don't say it, people will just be like, oh my God, what's her problem? So if I say it, no one will be rude. So this is just branding stuff. It's things that I've learned. I'm looking at my computer over here. Just about what to post and if you have a website, which I don't think Posh has its own website, but basically post wise, posting about what your why, why are you doing what you're doing? And Sis has even told me this too, you need to constantly talk about that. And like she said before, if you've done it one time on one platform, okay, a handful of people have seen it. You need to do it on your story or take a screenshot of a Facebook post and then put it as a photo on the story. Just put it wherever you can as much as you can. And then also hold on, sorry.
Right.
Right. Okay. And then also just sharing useful tips. And this is a useful tip for the skincare that Layla taught me. I don't know if you guys know this, Mom and Sue. When you're doing a serum, apparently you're not supposed to touch the end of
Dropper,
the dropper on your skin because the oil from
bacteria.
and gets back in there and then you're just re-putting it on your face. Didn't know that because Layla was putting it on so weird. I'm like, what are you doing? And she was like, I'm doing skincare. But then she explained to me why she was doing it so weirdly. So that could be like
I
a tip.
usually hold the dropper up and just drop it into my hands and then I go like this and put it all over me.
Oh, okay. I
That's
literally
super helpful because I would have never known that. And how many of your customers or audience don't know that?
Yeah.
So that's a
Right,
huge
that's like when I
value
cut open
post.
the tubes and and then I take like a makeup spatula because you lose like so much stuff inside the tubes if you just throw it away. I get like 3 or 4 more samples out of it using the makeup spatula.
Right.
Oh, I
And-
have a full tube of like a bottle and I touched the thing onto my face. So apparently I shouldn't do that. Nobody should. So
yeah, I wouldn't have known that
Yeah.
either. So that's super great to share for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
So does that make sense what she was saying about sharing your why and your story? Because if not, I can give an example of like how you would do that. That does. Okay, perfect. And all the time, like at least I need to do it more. I would say that you should probably do it at least once a week on every platform that you're on and do it in different ways and share different versions of the story. Like it's obviously always the same because it's your why, but it can have different like angles, if that makes sense.
One of the things I do a lot is talk about luxury items that's been able to afford me or a bill it's enabled me to pay. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I bought a new MacBook Air with money I made from selling Posh.
Yes, those are like business blessings types posts, and those are great to do as well because those are going to attract people that
I'm
also
going to
struggle
Cabo.
to pay bills and or save for whatever, a big purchase that you
Right.
did, or maybe paying off debt, whatever it is. And those can definitely tie to your why as well. But yes, those are super helpful to do as also, for sure. Okay, so do you guys want to take time to do the work, or do you want to just go ahead and
Just do
in
it on
this
my
and you
own.
can do it on your own? Do you
Yeah.
need accountability? Who is going to say that they're going to do it and not actually do it? Asking
Sue and I
because
can
that's
be-
how I'm
gonna-
just saying.
Because I won't do it.
Okay, see, and that's good I appreciate your honesty. So you can say, and I will help you if you need help. And if anyone wants to stay on, you can. I would just say mute yourself. And unless you are trying to get feedback on something that you need help with. So
Okay,
you're
I love
welcome
you
to
guys.
leave
I'm
if
gonna
you would like to
go.
leave. Okay, goodbye. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. It was
Love
very
you.
helpful.
Thanks so much. I'm glad you came. Bye, Mom. Are you leaving, Sue?
I'm gonna go.
Okay, thanks so much for
Thank you
joining.
so very much.
You are
So
so
I'm like,
welcome.
are you staying? Because if not, my sister and I can just do a quick little phone call.
Totally
I'm
interested.
gonna hop on it, but I think I'm gonna do it myself. But I just wanted to say thank you again for going over this. Especially some of the algorithm stuff is so like some of the I don't necessarily struggle with content as much as I do just fighting. Like you said, you never know what posts. Like my best post, I had like 90 comments. I'm like, what dessert do you like best for Thanksgiving? Pie or like
Oh,
brownies?
exactly.
And
Yep.
I'm like,
What
this is nothing, but people went crazy. And I mean,
Mhm.
like long stories about why they like pie over,
Yep.
whatever. So yeah, so there's just some really great
Oh, hey.
stuff you covered with.
Alex, what's your business?
I'm with Usborne Books and More Books.
Okay.
So,
Oh, I think
Um,
she said that before you hopped on.
yeah.
So I've
So-
found in this short while that I've been like having a business, the
Don't
do
air
the-
quote that.
sorry, the posts that do the most are like honestly what I found personally are personal things like you've seen holidays and stuff like that, or like literally anything with your kids. If you have a kid or a puppy, it's freaking, you're getting so
Yeah.
many comments. It's wild.
Especially if you frame it as a question where people
Yeah,
can
I
share
definitely
opinions.
definitely do a lot of questions, but I still
Yeah.
like but I also watch those like how many people view it. And I think it's just not showing. Like I know there's someone had mentioned that they'd gone to a similar training and you have to get like 6 comments in the first half hour that are like a certain length, and that helps it show up in news feeds. So
Oh.
like
Gotcha.
I think it was like it's 6 comments of 4 words or more, but your own count. So like you could comment 6 times in a half hour
So
and it would help it show up in more news feeds.
and tell them, which we do that. We literally, my sister, my mom, and I will be like, I just posted, can you go comment? Because it gets
Yeah.
the out up and it will put it in people's feeds.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's kind of, I mean, I definitely have people, and I'm thankful that I have people that like jump on and will do that for me. But
Mhm.
I still want to make sure that I'm offering quality posts, because I
Right.
have a lot of lurkers that will
Mhm.
sometimes go crazy and way overshare information. And
Yeah.
other times when I'm like, oh, this is a really great post because it's not really related to books, but like I'm trying to get to know people, and there's like crickets. So
Yeah. Yeah. How many people are in your group, if you don't mind sharing?
140, I
Okay,
think.
that's pretty good. Especially
But
since June. That's great.
yeah, since June. But I should clarify, I also have 8 girls in my downline that are also in my group. So technically my number's a little bit lower because some of
Okay.
them
Our
are
team
like,
members.
yeah, team members, or like
Gotcha.
people that I had met at their parties, and they're now
And so
their
they're
customers.
still in your group, but then yeah. So that makes sense. And if those people are contributing to your group and they interact and comment, then it's not gonna hurt. But if they're
Exactly.
like not interacting, then I would maybe go through and remove people that
Remove them. I was
are
wondering.
gonna be loyal customers to your people. But not that your people will ever like stop selling, but in the event that they do, it would almost be good to still have them in your group, because I've had some people join that fizzle out. And then,
Yeah.
so if I met their friends through the party they hosted with me before they joined as a stylist,
Exactly.
they're still in my group. And if they do want to order, they're going to see me in my post instead of forgetting who I am and going to some other random person. So I can see the pros and cons to both. I would say as long as they're contributing, it does, then
Yeah.
and being an active member, then that would be great to keep them.
Absolutely. And that was great too. I mean, I knew the 80-20, but it's good to like have that reminder of like, hey, I really need to evaluate that I'm not just selling all the time. And I try to provide value all the time, but it's good to kind of think like, okay, how can I, especially with I should know. I actually have a degree in marketing, so I should know. Like I'm selling myself more, but it's great to have these reminders. So thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks for joining. And I will let you know if I do anything else with it, but I just figured why not. So thanks for joining.
And good luck, Ashley.
Thanks, girl. I just had a question. Your
yeah.
down people, you mean people like that are on your team under
team?
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I have 8 girls.
That's amazing that you've had 8 team members since June. That's great, because homegirl struggles. I can't get a freaking team member.
So the easiest way for me is, because I've had a couple of people ask me about it, because I am decent at I will admit decent at recruiting with 8 in my downline since June.
I need you to do a training for recruiting, because I have literally listened to so many trainings. I've watched so many. I try to do all the things and I just can't. It's always comes down to people like not biting the bullet with the kit, the cost of the kit. So I'm just curious, how much does it cost to join Usborne?
So last year our kit was $25 was the starter kit, and you get there were like mini books in it, but this year it went up to 30, and I want to say the previous year was 35. But what I found,
that's so cheap.
Yeah,
I love that. I feel like that.
I'm trying to think. Color Street's like
130.
Okay. Yeah.
No, plus shipping, so it's like more like 150.
With moms, it's 90. I think it's 99. I can't even remember.
No, you can join hers for like 30, but you don't get product.
But that doesn't give you any product.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get like a discount though? Like if, let's say like you joined, they give you like some kind of, you make money on your own party.
Yeah.
Can you make the amount of the kit back pretty quickly?
For sure, so
For sure.
easily. And I need to talk about that more, but I do talk about that sometimes. I definitely, I just this morning was like going through my daily themes and like added recruiting and parties back in, because I don't talk about that stuff enough, because I'm always just afraid to, you know, but I feel like it is important, because there are those lurkers, you know, and I feel like, yes, it's a lot, but on the other hand, it's really not. Like, I know so many people that will run into Target and spend that on at the drop of a hat, like without even batting an eye. So it's like, why do we typically, like, as women, feel like we can't spend money on ourselves? You know,
Right.
it's like, it's a business that you can then turn back and make your investment back, plus get profit, you know, and, you know, give yourself purpose outside of being a mom, or, you know, whatever it is. So I don't know. I just struggle with it so hard. Like, it's not that expensive. There are other direct sale companies where the buy-in
Yeah.
is way more, don't get me wrong, but it's not so cheap that, like, I feel like someone will be like, oh, why not? Like, yeah,
Right.
it's only $20, I'll join. Sure. You know?
Yeah,
But-
well, I was gonna say that has actually been my biggest thing though, is of my 8 recruits, 2 of them came to me, and the other 6 were people that had booked a party with me through
Mhm.
another party. Only 2 of my recruits were people that I knew before I started.
That's
direct
amazing.
sales. But it was one of those things where it's like, hey, we're throwing a party. I'm really excited. What is it? One of those like, would you prefer to sign up? And yes, there's an upfront cost, but you'll probably earn the kit back, like the cost of the kit back in commission with one party or 2 parties. And then
Right.
you get like an ongoing discount, especially if it's someone that's like a
Mhm.
really serious lover of the products. Like I
Right.
had a couple of people that were like major Usborne fans, and they were like, "Oh, I love these products." I'm like, well, then it's silly not to be a consultant because you're already buying them. So,
Right. Yeah, I totally get that.
so,
Well, yeah. Well, thank you for sharing.
yeah,
That was super
absolutely.
helpful.
Absolutely. Good luck and
Okay.
have a
Thanks.
great
Have
night.
a good
ladies.
night.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Okay, sis, do you want to stay on here so we can see each other?
Yeah, that's fine. I was
Okay.
gonna say that you should use the Target thing as a content idea. Who goes into Target and spends X amount of dollars?
Yeah.